Okay, I just wanted to do a little voiceover recording of her tracking this handling exercise. And you were quite hard on yourself in the email that you sent me. But when I watched it, I thought, wow, this is really lovely work. I would be completely happy if this is the way my dog worked a transition in the test. And I noticed it was an hour and a half old. One thing I want to ask you is if you were aware of the transition that she had to work before she got to the asphalt. And I'll point that out in a second. I love the fact that you reminded yourself what the primary goal of this session was before you got started. And now I've slowed the video down at this point to quarter speed so that hopefully I can talk over kind of in real time. So this is a really nice start. She's adjusting herself nicely. And here's her first transition. So she has a shade to sun transition, and that tends to throw them off a little bit. She veers a little bit to the left, but look at the first thing that comes back towards the track is her nose. And then she lines up with the footprints again nicely. Yeah, I can tell she's a little off to the side here, but look, she's always coming back to it with her nose, and when her nose went too far, her body aligned with it again. These are all things that we should be watching for so that when the track is blind and you can't see the footprints, you don't know where it is, that body language is her tell. So now she's coming down. I think you said the wind is in her face, so it makes sense that she gets off just a little bit, but she, again, corrects herself here very nicely. And then she steps out onto the asphalt. And now she has to make an adjustment because it doesn't smell the same on the asphalt as it does on the grass. Her first indication was correct. She went over to the right, then she had a head dip and she actually stopped on the track. And now she's just confirming. I would not classify this as ABA. This is just, I want to make sure I'm right before I go out there. It is not frantically looking in the grass and refusing to go out. She passes over it this time without much of an indication. There's a little bit of going to the left. Now, if the wind is coming towards us, we can expect it to fan out along the edge of the grass there. But what we need her to do is to find the path out. Now here her body language really changes. She gets kind of excited and she's leaning forward. Do you see that lean? Do you see how she left her back legs out? When my dogs do that, that's not the track. That's something else that she's investigating. And that is made clear by her body language. So you would not need to give her line in that situation because just with a little bit of tension, she's willing to say, no, you're right. That's not it. If that had been the track, she would have dug in. So now she's thinking about it. You're not overly restricting her at this point. She's getting her nose down, getting some information, and that's looking really nice. And then she just kind of drifts with the wind a bit, and you asking her with just a little bit of tension on the line, look at where she comes back to first. She reorients to the track and then she crosses over it and she's going to go to the other edge, most likely. I don't remember the exact sequence here. Sometimes what Ashton does at this point is he circles around in front of me, like he's done both sides, and then he does a 360 and comes in front of me. And that is another indication. That pattern of behavior is a type of indication. She goes past it again a little bit. You're putting a little bit of tension in the line, but not much. And she says, yeah, you're right. It isn't over there. And she comes back to where she had first indicated. And there's a point here where she does beautiful body alignment. It's right there. She puts her nose down. And then she swings her body around and lines up with the track and then starts to pull. And this is where I'd ask with a little tension. And then as soon as she pulls into me, I'm going to relax the tension just a little bit to let her know, yeah, I believe you. I'm coming with you. And then this across the parking lot was beautiful. She really looks focused. She's tracking. No doubt about it that she's tracking. She's not just searching. She is actually following where the track is. I don't see a hint that she's air scenting the article up ahead in this one, even though you said she's going into the wind. That was beautiful tracking behavior, and this transition is also beautiful. There's nothing to doubt there. There's no reason to give her more line or take away line. And then as she comes up over this ridge, she has to adjust a little bit. And she gets her article, and I noticed she ran to the shade, but you said it was quite hot when you ran it. So this was just a beautiful, beautiful job. And I just wanted to let you know, and I wanted to point out those body language cues that you're going to get to be very proficient at reading. So, and hopefully that helps.